Good morning, caregivers. It is Wednesday. Yes, it is. And this is Let's Talk Dementia live on Facebook. I'm so glad you've chosen to join me today, and I'm glad to still be here with you, as is my mama, who is in the process of winging her way to heaven, but she's still here today. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Life in the Carolinas. You can find them at lifeinthecarolinas.com, as well as on YouTube, Life in the Carolinas, where it's never a bad day for a good story, as well as HD Imports on Flint Street Extension, 803-985-0985, where they can repair and maintain your Honda, Hyundai, Acura, Toyota, and Kia. Aren't you guys proud that I have finally learned how to say all of those car names in a row and not mess up? I'm shocked, really. Well, it has been an interesting 24 hours since yesterday. My nose is itchy. My mama's nose itches a lot. I think it must be contagious. It's been an interesting 24 hours and in some ways a very beautiful experience, and I'm thankful for that. Mama is still with us. She's about the same as she was yesterday. Medication got adjusted a little more, and she slept most of the night, as far as I know, because I slept. Oh, hallelujah. Air mattress in the floor where I could peek up and see her, but the few times I did, she was asleep, or her eyes were closed. I literally am going to Google and see, can you sleep with your eyes open? I don't know if you can do that or not. Can you? I don't know. I'm going to find out, because Mama seems to be sleeping sometimes, but her eyes are open. She also stares at a specific spot in the ceiling, and I understand that's very common in the last days. Often it's a corner that we look at, and I've heard people say that if you read some near-death experiences or people who feel like they have died, that they saw things happening in the corner. I don't know, y'all, but anyway, that's what Mama's doing. I want to tell you what happened yesterday morning. One of the stories I hope I never forget, but with damn dementia, who knows what I'm going to remember? Ain't that the truth? Mama was laying in her bed. She hadn't said very many words at that time. She gets in spells where she's gabby. Doesn't make a lot of sense what she says. But all of a sudden, during this time of peace and quiet, she said, "The crown and the lamb." Wow. And then, get this, then her feet started going just as fast as they could go. The sheet was just flying, and my mama's feet were just running just as fast as they could go. It was the most incredible moment for me. I'm like, what's going on? And I was texting my family, telling them what Mama had just done, and my niece wrote back and said, "My mom was running to heaven." Isn't that neat? My daughter wrote back and said, "Don't you like to think that she was running towards Pop, her husband?" Either way, it was a beautiful experience to see my mama. She was in the moment. She wasn't in my moment. She wasn't with me. But something was going on in her world that brought her joy. And isn't that cool? That's just a good story right there, I think. So I was glad to share it with Mama. But Mama's been on hospice since Thursday of last week, and I wanted to talk a little bit about hospice and why I'm so thrilled to have them as part of our journey. Hospice does vary state by state. I can tell you that I live in South Carolina, and in my county, there is like 20 hospice organizations, so you can shop. You can pick and choose, literally, the one you want. One may offer some extra services that the other one might not. One might have a hospice house and the other one might not. So you pick and choose. Well, my mom is living in a group home in Mecklenburg County in North Carolina. So we crossed the state line, and it's different. In Mecklenburg County, you're allowed 2 hospice organizations. So it wasn't too hard to figure out which one I wanted. I just went with the one that was recommended by the group home my mom is in. So my mom is actually with Hospice and Palliative Care of Charlotte. They have 6 or 8 locations in the area. They go up into Huntersville and I don't know where all. Oh my goodness, what an organization. Mama went on to services Thursday. Thursday, she had a visit from the nurse. Friday started with about 2 to 3 different hospice employees coming for different reasons for my mama. She's had nurse come every single day. She's had clergy come. Wonderful lady. Wish I could remember her name. Allison, maybe? I'm not sure. And she asked Mama, "Would you like for me to pray with you?" And Mama said, "That would be nice." that was pretty cool. She's had social workers come almost every day, and nurses' aides come. It's just been wonderful. I've called them a couple of times with questions about medication where we were just not quite sure, and boy, they were just right on it, right on answering those questions. And they would say to me, Carol, do you want us to send a nurse? Now, these phone calls had been at 11 o'clock at night or even later. And do you want us to send a nurse? We can have a nurse there in just a few minutes. And I'm like, no, we just need answers to questions right now. But what a blessing that has been. I was talking with a pastor in our area that he has, at that point, about 2 weeks ago, had a client that was actively dying. And I said, I hope they have hospice. And he said, no, the family is too proud. What they are missing, the help, the extra hands, the extra eyeballs, the extra brain power. Because believe me, when you are me and it's your mama, your brain shuts down. You can't think straight. And you having those extra people to help you is wonderful. And you know, it doesn't cost you anything. It's run through the insurance and it's run through Medicare, and it costs you nothing. They even cover a large number of the medications that your loved one might need. They supply the lotions and the pads to go under them. In some counties, they will actually supply, depends. In some counties, they will supply Ensure. That does vary. Although hospice is a government-regulated thing, I'm gathering state by state that each state can tweak it for their particular state. So hospice has been great, but this family has decided not to have hospice, and I don't know why you would do that. Folks, don't think, I don't want them on hospice because that means they're dying. What it means is they just qualify for hospice. They could go on hospice, get better, and have to come off hospice. Well, we're going to celebrate that, right? And then they could go on hospice and stay on it for a very long time. I actually know a Holocaust survivor lady, and Miss Ursula might be listening. It's Ursula's mama. And Miss Miodowski was on hospice for something like 20 years. That woman would qualify every time the enrollment period was up again. She would be in a down state and would qualify, and then she would rebound. She went to the hospice house so many times to die and then walked out and came back to assisted living that when you sent words out that Miss Miodowski had gone to the hospice house, everybody's like, yeah, she gone for a little vacation, you know. So if that someone says to you, let's see if your loved one qualifies for hospice, then do it. Why not? That you should do it. Christy is writing saying, yes, they even provide the slippered socks. That's good because I've been wearing this one pair of my mama's every day. Y'all, I went home yesterday and went out to lunch, and I laid down in my bed for an hour and a half. Ooh, boy, that was good. Got up, got my book. I was smart enough about that. Got some yogurt and some peanut butter. Yeah, I was smart about that. And came to see Mama. Got up this morning and realized I had no dang clean clothes. I got a shower and put on dirty clothes. You know, I just wish that my brain would click in and start working. One last thing I wanted to tell you about. I've talked to you guys about doTERRA oil before. This is the doTERRA Breathe. I've used it for Mama for years. Just take it and put a dab of it, the same dab, just touch it 3 times here. Get another dab. You put it on the breast above the heart. It will keep the Alzheimer's runny nose, and that super runny nose does go along with Alzheimer's. It will cut down the runny nose dramatically, and it smells good. Well, when you're in the process of passing away, as my mama is, your urine starts smelling about the worst thing you've ever smelled in your life. Okay, have you guys ever smelled cat pee? It's nasty stuff. My mama's urine makes cat pee smell good. Oh, and the reason is she's not getting very much hydration, and that urine is very concentrated. And I'm not kidding you. A couple nights ago, I stood by her bed as we changed her brief, and I thought I would pass out. You know, the edges started getting darker. My stomach was, I don't know how the caregivers do it. This I'm now putting on my nose because that's why I smell, that is what I smell instead of that urine. So It helps. I take it and I dab it across her sheets and then on the carpet in her room to make her room smell good. Janice is writing, and Janice, folks, has Alzheimer's, and she's one of our heroes that I just like Janice. I like her personality. She's got kind of my mama's personality. So, hey, Janice, she says, I have a runny nose constantly. Has gone on for over 2 years. Well, Janice, doTERRA, right there on your Facebook, find out who in your part of the world sells doTERRA. The little bottle is 30-something bucks. It will last you forever. I'm not kidding. You're going to use it maybe twice a day, a drop. So you're going to get a year out of it. So it's a good thing. So that's just your little hint of something that might help you and make life better for your loved one too. Well, that's about all I got on my mind for today. I'm going to be back tomorrow, and tomorrow is Tasty Thursday, and guess what I will not be doing? I will not be cooking, that's for sure. But I had thought something I was going to tell you had about food. Maybe it'll come to me later. Who knows? I may talk about something totally off the wall. You guys know that. That's why you tune in, because you never know what the heck I'm going to tell you, do you? Or what my mama's done that I'm going to tell you about. Well, I hope you have a good day, and I want to thank our sponsors before I forget. Life in the Carolinas at lifeinthecarolinas.com and HD Imports, Flint Street Extension 803-985-0985. Well, I hope you have a good day, and as you go through your caregiving journey, keep in mind my favorite Bible verse. This will be the verse that I leave with you on the days that I remember to do so. I will leave with you this verse every day until my mama goes to heaven, because it's my favorite Bible verse, and it's Romans 8:28. Whew, hold on, Carol. Don't cry. My niece said if you feel like you're going to cry, you put your tongue on the roof of your mouth and try to talk. That don't work. Okay, Romans 8:28. For we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. That was Mama's verse for a long time, I know, and it's been my verse almost my whole life. All things work together for good. I'm claiming that, because one day, pretty soon, my mama's going to be walking all over God's heaven, and she'll probably be wearing high-heeled boots, because she always liked them. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.